Ticats win the Labor Day Classic 49-36 over the Argos. I'm here with Spec Steve Milton. Steve, that was a very entertaining game. It was actually maybe two games. The first quarter and a half or so that the Ticats played, and the second half.
My notes are full of red circles. Turning point, turning point, turning point, turning point, and there really didn't turn into a turning point until I think the interception in the end zone and maybe Emmanuel Davis's interception. But when you look at it back at that, yeah, they scored 10 points in the last 2.5 minutes of the first half to get within, what, 10 points. Right? They were down 20. So when they win by 13, that's a 33-point turnaround. That's good for the confidence, but it also got to shake you a little bit. How come they keep falling behind?
Well, we've been talking about this all season.
Yes,
they keep falling behind. I don't think it's the same thing, and that's what
this time wasn't.
Yeah, they you know, it's been different things at different stages of the game. I agree, or different stages of the season. I agree, it's troubling. At the same time, they do have the ability to get themselves out of that trouble. And when Zach Collaros is going to throw for a bazillion, gajillion yards and 4 touchdowns every week, he looks like the way he looked in the middle part of last season, when he could just do whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted.
A year ago, this is who he was.
Yep.
Exactly on this time, on the Labor Day. And what was it, a week later? Or no, 2 games later.
Weeks later,
yeah, the Edmonton game. So we saw what he was going to be, and really, he's almost been that since I was trying to get that out of Ken Austin in the post-game scrum. Is that there's been kind of arc like to this, but it's like he came in ready. He came in ripe into the 4 games that he's played. So we're going to analyze that a little bit in the spec this week as to what we see there. But I think we got a keeper here in Zach Collaros.
Yeah,
you know.
And the other thing that they were talking about, I mean, Chad Owens talked about this, his first Labor Day Classic as a Ticat with the game-winning touchdown catch. He talked a little bit about it. Collaros talked about it. There's something about this place on Labor Day. I mean, it's always been the case, even back at Ivor Wynn. These games, these games are special, man. I mean, I know we talk about it every year, and it's fully cliches, but there's something different about Labor Day.
Things become cliches for a reason, right? And when we talk about the original stereotype of what type of town each is has changed, and yes, it's not as important in Toronto. That's one of the things that can really rally Toronto, by the way, if they start concentrating on the Ticats a little more in their marketing. However, you're right, on the Labor Day, it doesn't matter where it is. I was saying earlier tonight that NASCAR has a way to explain away weird things by saying that's racing. We have a weird way in the CFL of explaining away what happens in Ticat Argo games by saying this is Labor Day. And it's become a phrase between you and I think it probably feels that way to everybody. If something bizarre is going to happen, likely it's going to be here on Labor Day at some point during the season. And we saw a few of them today. Like, how about like I say, all those turning points that didn't turn into turning points, like the Ticats special teams being caught with too many men on the field when they made a stand, and it ended up in a score. That could have been a turning point. There was a million of them like that.
Yeah.
And again, you'll never remember them. You'll never remember them after this because of the larger things. As you say, the way Collaros played, and let's not forget Ricky.
Yep.
I mean,
he had 300 and change as well, almost 400, I think, for Ricky.
Guy can beat you by himself.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
He's got some really good, couple of tall guys he throws to, and they played pretty well there.
So Ticats now 5-5,
right.
And the bigger thing is they own the season series with the Argos. They're 1 game ahead in the standings, but they have.
Oh, sorry.
They own the season series. So
own the season series, and what we weren't looking at this. We never talked about this until maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. We started looking at it. Crossover in the West now looks pretty obvious that they might come east. So you really need to create that space between you and Toronto.
Absolutely. All right. Make sure you check out Tuesday's Spectator, and we'll have stuff all week leading into next Sunday's game for the Hamilton Spectator with Steve Milton. I'm Drew Edwards.